Welcome, movie buffs. Today we're delving into the suspenseful world of the movie Knock Knock, a recommendation from our favorite subscriber, Manny. Prepare yourself for a riveting tale of unexpected twists and turns. So grab a popcorn, settle in, and let's unravel the mysteries that await in Knock Knock. The movie starts with our protagonist, Evan Weber, an architect and contentedly married man, finds himself with the house to himself on Father's Day weekend. His wife, Karen, a thriving artist, has planned a beach trip for the family, leaving Evan alone with their pet, French Bulldog Monkey. Evan, busy with work and a shoulder injury requiring physical therapy, utilizes the opportunity to focus on renderings for a current house project. Meanwhile, Karen entrusts her sculpture to their assistant, Louis, who's tasked with moving it to an art gallery. The luxurious and beautiful home serves as Evan's solitary retreat during this period. Later in the evening, Evan Weber opens his front door to the unexpected arrival of two young women, Genesis and Belle. Claiming that their phone died and the taxi left them stranded, they request assistance in locating a party's address. Sympathetic to their predicament, Evan invites them inside to use the internet and contact the party's host. After successfully finding the address, Evan offers to arrange an Uber for them, but the nearest driver has a 45-minute wait. As they wait, the atmosphere becomes casual, and Evan, wanting to pass the time, plays some of his vintage vinyl records from his days as a disc jockey. The conversation takes an unexpected turn towards the women's views on human polygamy, and they candidly share insights into their lives as flight attendants, revealing a unique aspect of engaging in intimate encounters with new partners in every city they visit. Amidst the discussion, the two women disappear into the bathroom. Eventually, when the Uber driver arrives, Evan, now suspicious, discovers them in the bathroom in a state of undress and expressing desire for him. Initially outraged, Evan attempts to persuade them to leave, but as they persist, he reluctantly succumbs to their advances, resulting in an unexpected and unplanned threesome. The ensuing day, Evan discovers Genesis and Belle casually having breakfast while engrossed in an episode of Family Feud, displaying a nonchalant attitude towards their imminent departure. Growing increasingly impatient, Evan offers to provide transportation home, noting their failure to utilize the previously offered cab. Upon re-entering the residence, Evan is confronted with a disheartening revelation. The sculpture belonging to his wife, slated for collection by Louis for an upcoming art gallery exhibition, has been subjected to vandalism. Contemplating involving law enforcement, Evan issues a threat only to be met with a surprising revelation from the girls. Rather than remorse, they express anger, subtly asserting a form of control over Evan while hinting at the potential risk of facing charges related to you-know-what. Vivian, a friend of Karen's, pays a visit to Evan, offering assistance. Upon spotting Genesis, Vivian departs in anger, suspecting Evan of infidelity. Bewildered, Evan grapples with the situation, realizing that the information provided by the girls was fabricated to manipulate him. In an attempt to regain control, Evan contemplates reporting a break-in. Faced with this threat, the girls concede and agree to be driven home. Evan drops them off in an upscale neighborhood, supposedly their residence. Returning home, he rectifies the aftermath of the encounter and endeavors to resume his work. As Evan nears completion of his project, a disruptive noise interrupts his concentration. Despite the assumption of being alone indoors, he discovers a shattered picture of his family. Before he can comprehend the situation, Genesis, wielding one of his wife's sculptures, renders him unconscious, adding a perplexing twist to the unfolding events. Evan found himself spread eagle on the bed, bound hand and foot by two alluringly sinister women. Belle, perched atop him, attempted a seductive role play, a twisted performance Evan vehemently rejected. Faced with the chilling threat of a FaceTime call revealing his predicament to his wife, Evan conceded, using Belle's advances as a ploy to loosen his restraints. Unbeknownst to him, Genesis, the other woman, documented their intimate charade on his phone. With a sudden leap, Evan freed himself, tackling Belle and forcing her off. But Genesis awaited, wielding a fork like a sinister dagger. A swift thrust struck Evan's wounded shoulder, sending him to his knees. Genesis capitalized on his pain, pinning him to the floor. Both women, their smiles now replaced with cold determination, used electrical cords to bind him hand and foot to a chair. His hopes dwindling, with each tightening knot. The scene, while maintaining the original details, aims to shift the focus from explicit descriptions to emphasizing the character's actions and motivations. This phrasing also tightens the pacing and creates a sense of rising tension. Later, Louis arrives to retrieve the sculpture that Karen entrusted him with. The girls take control of Evan's phone and send a message to Louis, falsely stating that his niece and her friend are staying over. Concealing Evan in another room, they allow Louis entry using his keys. Upon discovering the vandalized sculpture, Louis becomes immediately aware of the deceit surrounding the girl's supposed relationship with Evan. In the course of his investigation, Louis finds Evan bound hand and foot to a chair. However, his attention is diverted when he hears the girls destroying the damaged sculpture. Rushing to intervene, Louis confronts them only to suffer an asthma attack. Complicating matters, he realizes the girls have taken away his inhaler. A chaotic scene ensues as they play a game of monkey in the middle with the crucial medical device. In the midst of the struggle, Louis slips on a fragment of the broken sculpture, inadvertently striking his head on its edge, killing him. Genesis and Belle transform Louis's lifeless body into a crimson sculpture and proceed to create an improvised grave in the backyard originally intended for Evan. Shockingly, they disclose to Evan that they had been surveilling him for several consecutive days. Despite Evan's unsuccessful attempts to contact emergency services and flee the premises, the duo subdues him, using a garden hose to bind his hands and feet. They then bury Evan in a dugout hole, leaving only his head and neck exposed above ground. Adding to Evan's distress, Genesis shares a video she recorded earlier with his phone, capturing intimate moments between him and Belle. In a horrifying turn of events, she uploads the compromising video to Evan's Facebook profile. In a surprising twist, the tormentors opt not to end Evan's life, deviating from the pattern established in Louis's demise. Exposing that the entire ordeal was a manipulative game they often play with fathers, the two menacing women conclude their torment of Evan. Taking Monkey with them, they abandon a shattered and buried Evan to grapple with his predicament, futilely attempting to dig himself out of the hole. Meanwhile, he faces the distressing spectacle of comments pouring in on the uploaded video. The homecoming for Karen and their two children is marred by the devastation left in the house. Observing the wreckage, Evan's son, Jake, nonchalantly remarks, "Daddy had a party," while Karen is left without words, confronted with the aftermath of the disturbing events. Thank you for joining us on this intense journey. If you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating content. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned for what's coming next.